Hi, everybody. It's Jennifer. Of course, I'm working from home, and we are going to talk today about Impact Live and see about whether or not this is the event for you. So I'm going to try and do a couple of things with the computer now to make sure that it's doing the right thing for you. I don't know if I'm looking in the right place or not. Someone should probably school me on that one day. But I definitely want to make sure that the microphone is working, and I have a couple people that are going to help me with that momentarily. And let's see. So if you're on and you could let me know whether or not you can hear me, then I will plow forward and make sure that I'm giving you all the information about the event and what's going to happen and whether or not this is something that would be a good fit for you to come and join us, which of course I hope it will be based on what we talk about today. And I hope that you went and got lunch, that you brought lunch together. Now, I don't have my lunch because I ate before I got on here and didn't think I wanted to talk and eat at the same time. Anyway, so I wanted to put this Facebook Live together for the sake of sharing some information with you live, obviously. Might carry a little different impact for you than what you might have seen from me on my posts or in the emails if you're on my email list that I've sent through those mediums. So the conversation that I've had mostly with people who are interested in it, who've registered for the event, is really, who is this for? Who is the event for? And I would say, as I have said, that I work with high-performing professionals who are intent on being the best leaders they can be. So what does high-performing mean? Doesn't mean necessarily that you have the top role in your company. It means high-performing, and for me that means that there's an intention that comes with that, an energy, a decision on your part that you are going to go above and beyond. You're going to manage your conduct and your conversations and your energy and your thoughts in the most impactful way possible. And knowing that that's not perfect. I mean, no one's perfect at that you're going to do it the best you can. Hi, Mike. Hi, Star. I'm so glad you all are here. And please forgive me again on the logistics of where I'm looking and all that. I hope it's going to be useful for you in the meantime. So back to high performing. High performing meaning that you've got a dedication to doing more than showing up, going through the motions, getting the check, going home. That you're not that person who talks about, it's Monday, or yay, it's Friday. Look, I like Friday too. I also like Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and all the points in between where I have this opportunity to work with people and help improve their lives, my lives, the world, hopefully. So Impact Live is about that. It's a 2-day event. It's very intensive. I will say that it's not for everyone. And I don't mean that from a marketing perspective, like, trying to trick you into thinking that it's for you. It may not be, because there's a lot of time and money and effort that goes into an event like this. And you want to be sure that it really is the fit that you're looking for. So the other thing that I talk about is that I work with, as I say, high-performing professionals who are at pivotal points in their careers. Now, pivotal can mean any number of things. Pivotal can be you are taking on a new role. You've just found yourself in this new environment with new leadership around you, with new expectations, with new money, with a whole lot of newness. And so the pivotal point for you is really learning how to meet the demands of that environment. Pivotal may also mean that you come right into a new company that you know nothing about, that it's not a move up within. Pivotal might also be moving out and moving into something new, but really being dedicated to the process of becoming a better leader. So when I say leader, I mean leader means a lot of things to a lot of people, and God knows in the environment that we're in, without getting political about this at all, because I don't mean it just from a political perspective. I mean that there are people at all levels who may have the title of leader that may not necessarily meet one's definition of leader. And I need for you, if you're going to consider this, I need you to consider what leadership and impact means to you. To me, personally. Not what I would teach you, I mean, what I will teach you, but I'm not asking you to have this definition for yourself. For me, leadership is being willing to conduct myself in a way that is not always convenient, easy, popular, but is for the benefit of the most people possible, whether or not I'm included. What do I mean by that? I mean that in terms of love and graciousness and enthusiasm and vision and all of these very positive attributes that come from identifying your genius and knowing what those are, combined with your expertise, your knowledge, and then combining all of that within a value structure that helps you develop your firms, serve your clients, grow your teams, and that in itself creates a ripple effect in the environment that makes for impact. I'd like to say hi to Jill and Mary Kay and Lucy. I'm so glad that you're here. Sorry for the dings in the background. I can't turn off my text and do this at the same time, evidently. So back to the conversation about high performing is the intention, not the title. Pivotal points of your career, meaning what you want to step into next and how you want to step into that or step away from where you are into something else. And then becoming the best leader that you can be. We tend to work best when we're in frameworks, right? Where it's not just this free form thinking, although I do plenty of that, where there's an opportunity to say, relative to this, where am I? So you can close the gap on those things. Within Mindful Leaders Academy, and certainly at this event in October, there's going to be this amazing opportunity for you as a professional to look at where you stand relative to executive presence, personal brand, and professional profile. Those are the pillars, the cornerstone curriculum for Mindful Leaders Academy. So within executive presence, for instance, we talk about conduct and we talk about confidence and we talk about connection. Those three subjects alone, if someone were to master those, would make for the most extraordinary difference in the lives of the people that you lead. But then we go on and we talk about personal brand and what is that and how do you create that statement that really makes such a difference to the people that you lead, that inspires them, that motivates them, and gives you the opportunity to take that subject matter expertise, your contributions within and without, inside and out of your firm, to make the difference by how people experience you. And then when we go into profile, we talk about reach, acumen, the ability to see what the influence is that you have on people, to really, frankly, measure impact. I can measure impact with my company a lot of different ways. Certainly I have the anecdotes, the things that people say to me about how I've made a difference for them. I also have statistics within the organizations I've worked. We've helped make 52 partners at one of the top 4 accounting firms in the world in the last 4 years. I'm very, very proud of that. I'm proud of that for the opportunity I've been given to do it. And I'm proud of the people who've shown up for that conversation. So within the 2-day event, of course, we can't do everything, but we're going to do a lot. We're going to talk a lot about presence, brand, profile, and allow you to gauge where you are relative to those subjects and where you'd like to be. I also want to say about this event that we'll be able to do some very creative work. One of my coaches is going to join us and do some very creative work with you around, I don't even want to call it performance, because it's going to be more than that, although we'll be using performance techniques to help you better express who you are and the difference you want to make in the world. We have a tendency, maybe, some people, to pepper our language and our performance with just sort of kind of maybe qualifiers, for instance. That's one aspect of the public speaking process that we talk about. But this exercise that we'll have during the 2 days is really not only going to break you of some of those habits, but also give you a thought process in performance that allows you to not only find new perspective, but introduce that perspective into the conversation, whether you're in front of a board of directors, your team, your community, wherever it is that you are leading. So let's see, what else are we going to talk about in those 2 days? I'm rambling on now. I'm so excited that you've all joined me, by the way. I'm trying to do this and see what's happening over here. And I love that you're here. Hi, Joe Biba and Christina and Ashwani and Rhonda and Riley and David and Mike. I think I caught everybody that's joined us since the last bunch came on. It's very encouraging to me that people want to show up in the middle of their day, any time of the day, to talk about leadership and to be better leaders. I have to make that grand assumption that that is why you're here and not simply to be entertained by me for a few minutes. So on to the additional information for Impact Live. And then I would really love to take whatever questions you have that I can give you whatever perspective of mine might be helpful. But in that 2 days, we will also have an opportunity for you to be part of the energy of this cohort of people that have inconvenienced themselves, frankly, in terms of time, money, energy, effort, to be in that room and have this conversation and work it out. You know, I've been part of a mastermind group for 3 years now for my business. Prior to that, I've had coaches for a total of probably 15 years of not only coaches, but communities of people, like-minded people who want to be in very important conversations. And it's made all the difference in the world to me, not just from a business perspective and the profitability factor of that, but the profitability in my life, in my heart, of who I know is available to me that is honorable and trustworthy and energized and willing to work really hard to make a great mark in this world. So that's going to happen. And the reason I have it in my 2-day event is because of how much I've benefited by that in my other groups that I'm part of. So you probably know that. You probably have that in your life somewhere within your spiritual community or business or family. Communities are everywhere, right? And if you don't, and even if this doesn't turn out to be for you, I hope you will go find that community. There is nothing like it. And these are not necessarily the people who just say, sure, Jennifer, everything you do is magnificent and we agree and we love you, because that would be lovely too. They challenge me a lot. You know, my friends say yes. My parents used to say no. My mentors say, how about? And have you thought about? And maybe not. And so they've challenged me in ways that have been really extraordinary. And we'll do that too. And we'll do it in a very loving and open and supportive way. So that will be part of this event too. We'll have great food at the event center, to snacks and things in between the meals that you go out and have in New York City. If you've never been to New York City, you must come. It's really just a phenomenal place. Of course, we're going to give you whatever support we can on finding the right places to stay and things to do. And I purposely put the event together on a Thursday and a Friday so that if you do want to come out and look around the city, you can stick around on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and see New York. It's a beautiful time of year, and the leaves will be turning or have turned, and you know there'll be a bunch of us around that live here that would be happy to participate in helping you find great things to do while you're here. So we have some time. Oh my gosh, Derek Smith, you're planning on it? You're coming to New York City? I would just be over the moon to have you here. That would be extraordinary. That is a young man who has really taken the world on in ways. You have really made such a commitment to your genius, Derek. I am thrilled for you. That's really, really exciting. I just saw your comment. That's so cool. So let's see, what else? Logistics, impactlivenyc.com. So the financial side of things. The event is $5.99 until September 1st. So I think that gives us a couple of weeks on the early bird pricing. And then it's going to jump up to $6.99 for a month, I think. Sorry, I'm not clearer on that. My assistant helps with more of those things. But I do know that early bird $5.99 is until September 1st. We have a one-time payment you can make. You can make 3 payments that have a processing fee on top of that, a small one. And I am committed to making sure it's the best money you've ever spent on yourself. I truly mean that 100%. And I'm going to back it up with a guarantee. So if it's not the best money you've ever spent on your professional life, we will refund you in all kinds of different ways, including at the event on the spot, if that's what you would like. So we're very, very confident. I'm extremely confident that this is information that will move you to a significantly new, not just good, phenomenal level in your career. So let's see, it's 12:30. I've been talking for 15 minutes. I would be more than happy to take any questions or comments on what you're wondering about the events or leadership in general, or anything you want to share with me about what's new and exciting and phenomenal in your world. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Doug. Hi, Herb, Derek, Randy, Joseph. How are you? I'm really thrilled. Beyond. Hey, Valley. I'm very excited that you all are here. Let's see. So while I'm looking kind of out of the corner of my eye to see if there are questions or comments, I want to think a little bit more about some of the subjects that we'll handle in the 2 days. We will also be doing what I call impact speaking and conscious conversations. So conscious conversations for me are the ones where you first of all have the opportunity to step back before you throw the information out there. I mean, remember when we were kids and people would say things like, think before you speak? Well, this is a very formatted way to do that. This is a very structured, framed way to do that so that you not only get to express how you feel about something, you also make room for other people to share their thoughts, even if you're not in agreement, because agreement isn't always the ultimate outcome. Understanding might be. New perspective would be a great outcome. But oftentimes people don't come to those conversations as fully as they could because they're certain already that there's not going to be agreement. If there's not going to be agreement, there's no point in it, and that's not always true. So, Derek, I think what you're doing is amazing. Thank you, darling. This is needed because there's so many that need more information on leadership. It is a perishable trait and an easily corruptible one. I would have to agree, dear. I really would. And so the more we can put into that, again, through me, through this, through church, through community, through family, through friends, through your conduct, through your conversations, through your relationships, the better we are as a society, as a whole. And we have to have some trust that it makes a difference. It may not make the biggest difference immediately that we can see, but it does matter. I know it matters because you all send me information all the time and messages and notes all the time to say that it matters. Then when I put up something that you find inspirational, that matters to you. Which I'm honored to do. So thank you for that, Derek. Hi, Alicia. Thank you, Jeannie, for your comment as well. Hi, Dennis. Thanks for joining us. And so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about conscious conversations and a framework for that. We'll also talk about how to create a personal brand statement that rocks. We're going past all of the 60-second elevator pitch kind of thing. That's old school. We are going to help you create a personal brand statement that will carry you so far, make such a difference, be so clear to the people that you're working with about who you are and what you're up to. So whether you're telling that story for the sake of business development, career progression, motivating your team, whatever it is, it will be the clearest thing you've ever told. I love that exercise around personal brand. We'll also map where you are relative to your career path, and not just in the presence brand profile we talked about earlier, but where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, 4 years, 10 years? And do you feel like you're on track for that? Let's see, another subject we will talk about is business development. I have a very strong, long track record with business development process and system that, if we could talk numbers for a second and get real about that, has created multiple multi-million-dollar businesses. Not because I'm such a wonder child. I mean, I'm smart. I'm really smart. But I was given a system way back when, and I tell the story of that in the event, about how to enroll people in a way that is the most collaborative thing I've ever seen then or since. And it's helped me build very strong, authentic, integrity-based businesses. And I'm going to share those tips with you as well. So let's see, we've got a few more minutes. I was going to take this until 12:45. I can't tell you enough how excited I am that you're here and that you joined us. I know you've probably got to get back to work as well, and I'll do another one of these. Actually might make it a series on a weekly or semi-monthly basis that we can get together, if that's helpful, and talk about more leadership tools. And then finally with Impact Live in October, I hope that if you have questions about it and you're not sure if it's for you, there are a couple of things that you can do, or that I would strongly recommend that you do. Reach out to me. I am more than happy to spend time in one-on-one conversation with you about the event and answer all of your questions and see whether or not it's a great fit, because if it is, this is really going to rock your world. And I know you're going to rock ours too, because the people who've been registered for this so far are extraordinary, just like you. And all of us together are formidable. We're going to be an amazing, amazing group of people. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us. Nice to see you too, and Dennis. All right, so we have a few more minutes, and then I'm going to reiterate the ways to get a hold of me and the ways to look at the registration. Anybody want to share a story or a comment about what it's meant for you to develop as a leader, where you feel like you still, what's the stretch, what do you still need to learn, anything. Doug, does your process of brand development work well for individual entrepreneurs such as writers? Yes, it does. And I'm not just saying that. I am a writer. And in the writing context, which, by the way, I cannot wait to get your book. And I ordered it the other day, and I ordered a hard copy. I never order hard copy. I always order Kindle. But that book and that cover, Apple Pie Alibi, people, just screamed like hardcover. Anyway, back to your question. Yes, the personal brand development framework that I give in this thing works in any context where you want to tell a very clear and compelling story about who you are, what you're up to, and the impact that you want to have. I've written a few books of my own, and part of the brand development process that I'll teach comes from that, comes from being on the road with books and on social media, and but more particularly within the business world and running my business. I've used that brand development process to grow this business to a very blessed place in a short period of time. So absolutely. And Doug, I'm happy to talk with you about it in more specific detail on a phone call if you'd like. So Derek said, I know that I need to learn to step back and let the people you place around you work. So hands-on, it drives you mad. Well, yeah, there's a trust that you build in leadership, that people know what they're doing, and you trust that you're on the same page. And you don't overly assume, though. I mean, somebody told me a long time ago that you need to inspect what you expect. That's not the same as micromanagement. So inspection happens a lot of different ways, through systems, processes, scorecard management. It's not micromanagement, though. So if you're micromanaging, there's a lack of trust. We will talk about how to build a better trust so that you can inspect things and get the results that you're all looking for without having to make each other crazy. So, hello, Michael Reed. My goodness, it's been a long time. How are you, sir? So we have just a few more minutes, and what I want to encourage you, as I said, to do, if you think that this event might be for you, there are any number of ways that you can get in touch with me. You can private message me. If we're friends on Facebook, you can just send me a private message, and I'll send you my phone number, and we can send you through the link that gets to my calendar, so you can put some time on the calendar, and we'll talk about it. And if it's for you, that'll be amazing. And if it's not, we'll know that too. But I also have a lot of resources that if this is not the right event, I might be able to point you in an even better direction. And I'm happy to do that, of course. So you can private message me. You can go to Impact Live NYC and get all the down and dirty on the whole thing that we're going to do, how it's going to work out, what the times are, what are the different topics we're going to talk about, which is what I would absolutely encourage you to do. You can email me at jen@mindfulleaders.com if you want to put that out in a message. Any number of ways to get me. So I hope you will. If this is something you're contemplating, I hope you will. I do not take this lightly, the suggestion that you spend, because I know it's not just the $600 to come to the event. It's a lot more than that. And I know that because I've done that. I've done that when I was living in Colorado. I came to New York City several times before I moved out here to be part of a women's organization that changed my life, brought some of the most amazing people into my life, taught me extraordinary things about how to run my life, not just run it like systematically, but psychically, spiritually run my life to my genius, to my God-given talents, whatever that might mean. So the time and the money and the get on an airplane or get on a train or drive up here or whatever it takes, I know it takes a lot. And as I said earlier, my commitment, my pledge to you is to make that the best money you've ever spent on yourself as a leader. So I'm going to wrap us up here. And Melody, so glad that you joined us. Oh my gosh, I love Facebook for bringing all these people back into my life, for bringing us together again. I haven't seen many of you in a really long time, too long. And Mike, it's great to see you too. If nobody has anything else, we'll wrap up our time together. Please go to impactlivenyc.com. This video, of course, will be up on my timeline. You can watch it again. Maybe there's something helpful for you to re-know in there. And I appreciate all of you so much for making the time, for being intent on being better leaders. I'm going to put my own little heart up here if I can. I don't know if it lets me, but I will later if it doesn't let me right now, to just my heart back to yours for being the extraordinary people that you are and being dedicated to service and leadership, as I'm going to make the assumption that you are since you're here. I hope you have an amazing day. I will see you again very soon, and message me, call me, and we'll talk about the event in more detail. Mwah! Have a beautiful day.